Whether it is on talkSPORT 2, whether it's on the app, or whether it's on our live streams on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel for our InVision watch-alongs. You're all exceedingly welcome whichever way you're tuning into us today. So with Chris Mason and Paul Nicholson alongside, we will look forward to this afternoon's matches in just a moment, with 3 more round 3 ties to come in the afternoon session. But I wanted to talk to you. Both of you guys have made reference on air with us in the past couple of days about where's this performance come from with various individuals. And you've levelled it at a few in terms of, because there's so much money, Chris, available at these championships, it means it really skews how far you can leap up the Pro Tour Order of Merit rankings just by getting a round further than you would normally expect.
Absolutely, and when you think a Pro Tour, what's a Pro Tour now, Nick? Was it
15,000 pounds for a win?
So you're just by qualifying, it's the equivalent of winning one of those. So of course, if you get in a deep run, you get around the 60, 100,000 mark, you can see yourself from being ranked in the 40s to probably going inside the top 32. But I think me and Nico have picked up on something. There's so many players that are outperforming their numbers. Why? You know, I know it's the biggest tournament, but it's also the most pressure. Where are these performances? You know, Zonneveld's one, Justin Hood's another one. He's looked $1 million up there, but his seasonal numbers are at 91. I mean, we're not talking about, you know, a small increase in numbers. We're talking 10 points.
And we were talking, as well as the ones that Mace has just mentioned there, you and I were commentating on Gabriel Clements last night, Nico.
Yeah, Gabe in the last 12 months has been a ghost. Sometimes you see him and you think, well, where's Gabe at? He's already out. He's already out of the tournament. And
you can't miss it.
Yeah, the last couple of games he's played some very decent stuff, but last night he created history, becoming the first German player to have 100 average on the stage here in North London. And he lost the game. He played some tremendous darts last night. And I would love to have just walked up to him. I'm a respectful guy, so I don't walk up to someone who's just lost when he's, you know, just lost a 6-setter to the world number 2. But if we had the freedom to speak to Gabe last night, I would have said, well, where's that been? You have not played very well this year. You've only played in 2 European Tour events. Tell me why.
So, all right, are you suggesting that there's a deliberate, conscious decision, right, this is going to skew my rankings and points at this tournament in a way that I couldn't possibly hope to manage during the course of a year with Pro Tour events?
No, I think it's down to players coasting and not applying themselves properly. But because it's the Worlds, probably the last sort of month leading up to it, they put in the extra yards, and it showed. That's the thing, that the evidence is there, because there's no other explanation. You know, you don't go from being a sort of 90 average player to looking $1 million on stage here at the Worlds unless you've reapplied yourself or done the extra work. And I just find it strange that the players are obviously doing that. They're not committed all year round, and you have to. I remember practicing with Taylor after he'd won his 10th world title, and he would have me in the mornings and Frosty in at night, and literally do 3 hours in each session, and it was brutal. And that's, you know, that was then a guy who was probably worth 8 or 9 million quid, 10 world titles, had about 11 world match plays, yet he's still applying himself.
Can go the other way, of course. We see with Stephen Bunting that, you know, the peak is achieved earlier in the year.
That's form.
Yeah,
that's form. You know, Watamina was another one who just sort of started to tail off a little bit. Bunting's TV results coming into this, I think he won 1 game on TV in the last 4 big tournaments. So, you know, not so shocked. And again, he sort of came out with those sort of ridiculous claims about being the people's champion, which gave him a backlash. You know, I don't know why on earth he thought that was necessary, but that put extra pressure on him. And, you know, I just wish players would have social media managers. Most of the top boys do have. Michael van Gerwen doesn't do his own.
There's a big thing about Stephen. I've been extending invitations for conversations with some of my sources within the sport and just trying to gauge an opinion as to where Stephen is. We love him to pieces. I've known Stephen since he was 16 years old, and he was just this kid doing trick shots at the Toxteth Club in Liverpool. But nowadays he's a commodity. He's maybe going to be leaving the top 4 in the world, and we have to look at the best season of his career because it's the winningest season he's ever had. but he's paid the price for it at the end. He's done the World Series. He's been exquisite at that. He's done the Pro Tour. He's been brilliant at that. He's been better at the European Tour than ever. But the price he's paid for doing so much in 2025 is that he's had nothing left in the tank from the Slam all the way through the Worlds. And when he played his last match here in the last couple of days, honestly, he looked like he was finished. He needs to get as far away from darts in the next 2 weeks as possible. Don't even think about Premier League selection. Get away with your family and recharge. If he does not, the start of the season, it's going to be hard.
And the thing is, there's a lot of recency bias in darts. He had a woeful Premier League campaign, even though he ended up winning a night. It was awful for him, and it wasn't down to him playing particularly badly either. But Nico's right. The price he's paid for playing in everything is there's been nothing left in the tank at the most important part of the year. And if he does go outside the top 4, no guarantee he'll be in the Premier League either.
It is as volatile a Pro Tour Order of Merit top 64 as I've seen for quite some time. There are still some players whose position at the foot of that top 64 is still unsure. Mario van der Behard clinging on to 64th place. Tom Taylor's in that 64, but is he going to be suspended? Is he going to lose his card? Is that going to help players in and around that 64? Well, we'll find out in the fullness of time. On to this afternoon's matches, and let's get an idea of what the bookies think, because we can now have a chat with our friends at William Hill.
In the Zone on talkSPORT 2 with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Good afternoon, Sam Norris. How are you doing?
Afternoon, yeah, I'm well, thanks. Enjoying the discussion there. That's the key for betting, isn't it? Do you go on recency bias, what we've just seen in the last round, or do you expect a bit of a regression to the mean from some of these players and they go back to their season averages? That's a question we've got to ask ourselves when looking at the odds.
Oh, regression to the mean. That's an album title. I'm writing that down. Okay, Sam, let's start with the two left-handers who were on stage first. Chris Mason mentioned Justin Hood there in passing. An extraordinary tournament, an extraordinary win against Danny Noppert in a sudden death leg. Against Ryan Meikle of Ipswich, what have you got on this one?
Yeah, I mean, the match against Danny Noppert that Justin Hood played in the previous round, for many, the best match we've seen at the World Championship so far. He's 1-3 to get past Ryan Meikle, who's 23-10. Despite the lopsided nature of the odds, though, I think both players will feel that this is a really, really good opportunity. Interestingly, Hood's 4-9 to win the 180 battle. I think Meikle's got a better chance of winning the match than he has of throwing more 180s than Hood. So I think if you're looking to stick something in an ACCA, the 4-9 that Hood throws more 180s than Meikle is probably preferable to the 1-3. It's 16-5 in 180s between the two of them to this point. If you talk about regressions to the mean there, Hood can't possibly play as well as he did against Noppert in the previous round. In all likelihood, he won't need to. But that would be the way I'd probably chuck it in. I suppose the one problem you've got is Meikle can be a bit methodical, which might kill the pace a little bit, but I think Hood to throw more 180s than Meikle is better than the outright, I've got to say.
Okay. Talking about the number of games people are playing, I think Nico mentioned earlier that Charlie Manby's about to play, what was it, 128th or 129th game of the season?
His game this afternoon in 2025, he's about to play his 298th game.
290, I was 100 out.
He would love to play 299.
Yes, I'm sure he would. But he's up against rapid Ricky Evans, who's never got past this stage. What say you, Sam?
Yeah, and again, Ricky Evans might feel like he's never had a better opportunity to get past this stage. Charlie Manby, of course, he was the beneficiary, wasn't he, today? Luke Little had missed registration for the Pro Tour, and I know he raced across the Pennines to make it there. It's very close according to the odds compilers. Ricky Evans 8-11, Manby is 11-10. Manby's maybe gone a bit underpriced given his run to this point. I think Ricky Evans, given the wealth of big stage experience that he's got, I know this round has been a bit of a hurdle, a bit of a barrier for him, but I would have expected him to be a little shorter than the 8-11 that's currently on offer, so I think that's fine. Over 5.5 sets in the match is 4-7. That's always going to appeal when a match is priced up close like this is on paper. But I thought Evans might be a bit shorter, so the 8-11 appeals. All
right, and finally, Nathan Aspinall, who had a bit of a scare in round one, but got through against Ilagan and was much better against Leonard Gates. He's got Kevin Doots, Hawkeye.
Yeah, two decent tests so far for Nathan Aspinall. He's come through them. He's 1-3 to beat Doots, who's 23-10. Obviously, he didn't have to do a lot to beat David Munoz in the previous round. Surprised that he was even playing him instead of Mike Decker. So whether he comes into this quite with his eye in the same fashion that Aspinall does, I don't know. I think Aspinall minus 2.5 sets here at 6-4 is quite good. That gives you 4-0 or 4-1 I expect him to be too good for Dukes. We should just give a little mention to our epic boost tonight as well, which is Luke Littler to throw over 180 in the first set. That's even money. That exact bet has landed in the last 2 rounds. And we've actually had 3 winning Luke Littler epic boosts so far through the tournament. So he's costing us a few quid, the young man.
My heart bleeds. Sam, thanks very much indeed for the time being. Mace, just give us your thoughts about what catches your eye odds-wise this afternoon.
A lot of that I can agree with. Listen, Justin Hood, he backed up that 99.59 in a tough match. It was 3-0 in sets, but that doesn't paint the picture of that match. He averaged 99.59. He backed that up with that incredible, one of the best games we've ever seen on this hockey, not this tournament, but ever, against Nopper at 103. His running average is, well, pretty much 102. Meikle's at 86. I can see nothing but Justin Hood win here, and at most 180s. That's been priced up at 5-6, or was. I like Manby evens because I can't ignore history. 6 times a player who's reached the last 32 and not won one of them. Well, that tells its own story. Manby's evens, or was, 11-10 now, as we just heard from William Hill. And Aspinall, win match most 180s, although he's got a horrific record against Kevin Dutz. Won their very first meeting, lost the next 5, but none have been in this environment and over this distance. And I think Aspinall, this version of Aspinall, will be just too much for him. That pays nearly 7-1.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Mace, and thank you to Sam Norris. That's all the odds ahead of this afternoon's action. Thanks to our friends at William Hill. It's 18+, gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on talkSPORT 2 with William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
It's funny, you mentioned 298 games there for Charlie Manby. You're going to be back with Mark Wilson doing commentary on that game against Ricky Evans. But that doesn't seem to, you talk about burnout, what Bunting's been suffering. No burnout for Charlie. Obviously,
well,
there's the exuberance of youth.
Isn't he?
Yeah, the exuberance of youth, right?
Very, very different. He's got to balance that with the job as well. And he doesn't look like he's losing energy. He's actually gaining it.
And unlike Ricky Evans, there's no damaged goods. There's no bad memories for Manby.
He's played on the stage twice and he's won twice, and he'll think he's going to do it 3 times. What I will say about Evans against Manby, we said last year that Ricky Evans against Robert Owen was a big chance, and he lost that game. Yeah. So today is just a little bit like last year again. We'll get onto that in due course.
Nico, thanks very much indeed. Nico will be back with Mark Wilson for Manby against Evans, our second game. But let's head to the stage where John McDonald's going to introduce our first 2 players.
And a very warm welcome. You join us live on Sky Sports on the Alexandra Palace, London. It's the 3rd round action of the Paddy Power World Dance Championship, brought to you by the PDC. And ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Both players from England. Firstly, would you please welcome into the 3rd round in his debut year, a winner of a challenge tour, Happy Feet Justin Hood!
All the small things, true care, truth brings. I'll take one lift, you're right, best trip. Always, I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting, commiserating. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home.
Well, they do say all the best things come in small packages. That's what Justin Hood will tell you. Happy Feet on the stage. You're wondering why he got that nickname. It's because he forgot his shoes at one event, had to borrow shoes off another competitor that were a bit big for him. So it looked like his feet were smiling with the shoes curving upwards. He's got the right footwear on since. He's got his penguin hat on. Happy Feet, of course, being that famous penguin movie. And he throws the hat out into the front row, and he's ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, taking part in his 6th World Championship, the winner of 6 development tours, it's the barber, Ryan Meikle!
That can come in handy in a final set. We'll have to see how it pans out.
We've seen how beneficial it can be in this tournament already.
Definitely. And Justin Hood can tell you that himself.
Yeah.
one of the great Alexandra Palace classics. There's no hyping up how good that match was against Danny Knopp at the Freeze in the last
if you
round.
want something to do in between sessions today, it's up on YouTube. Go have a look at it. It is incredible. I even watched it back because it was that good. Some of the most incredible clutch finishing you will ever see. There was a 157 from Noppert that was, well...
Oh, yes, out of this world.
Yeah, literally.
But Hood got the job done, and he hit 11 180s in that match and averaged 103 for the game to see off the Freeze, who at the time I think was the highest seed that had gone out of these championships.
Justin to throw first.
So Meikle's got to raise his game because he's only really been averaging just below 90 for his 2 matches.
Yeah, 86-68 is his tournament average, and I can't ignore those numbers. And
140.
you know, listen, he's not playing to his sort of tournament averages for the last 12 months. He's below them, which tells me he's not in great nick. I mean, that darts is very much a sport that's all on the day, but this Justin Hood, I've known about him for years. This is no surprise to me.
So we're underway. Both left-handers. Hood has the darts in this opening set, comes downstairs and picks off 619s for a 134, having started with a 140. Meikle, who only hit 47 in his first visit. Another trebleless visit to kick off for the Barber.
Well, the numbers tell us that Justin Hood's not going to be outscored in this. And when you look at the seasonal metrics as well,
41.
there's not a lot in it in terms of seasonal averages, but in terms of scoring and power scoring, it all points to Justin Hood.
These two have never met before, which is no great surprise given that Hood is a newcomer on the PDC Tour. Trying to get down to a finish here in Will. Justin Hood, he's down to 46 after 12 darts.
Yeah, very tidy opening leg. There's no nerves. I don't think he would even understand that. He is such a laid-back guy. He's great fun. And that allows him to play with an element of freedom. So potential 14 darter on here. Single 14 leaves double 16.
Just on the wire.
It's awkward.
He's moved right across beyond the oche to try and make room for this final dart.
14.
And he overcompensates and goes wide. So Meikle trying to get down from 198.
Finds the treble. Doesn't follow it. Should switch over to the 18s.
98.
Gets the single.
32.
So back for double 16, Hood. He's just inside. So next door at 8 o'clock is double 8. He's inside that. So across the double 4. And he's inside. So double trouble from 5 attempts so far for Happy Feet. And Meikle can break a ton required.
Not been in this leg at all. 80 left. Gets the one tops, needs another.
How about that? Ryan Meikle in a different postcode for most of that opening leg, but he's broken the Hood throw. Pinning tops for our first ton plus checkout to get us going on talkSPORT 2 for the afternoon. Don't forget the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page for our free watch-alongs. Any questions you've got for Chris Mason is alongside me, or indeed for Paul Nicholson, fire him in there. Make sure you've liked and subscribed. That will allow you to comment on our free watch-alongs. Keep it civil, keep it clean.
Well, 5 missed at double. I shortened that to mad, and I'm sure that Justin Hood is exactly that after that opening leg. But he dominated, didn't he? Left 46 after 12. 5 darts at a double later. Meikle steps up and breaks in 18.
This is his best ever performance, Ryan Meikle, at Alexandra Palace in the World Championship. He's lost in the round of 64 in the past to the likes of Raymond van Barneveld, Peter Wright, and last year he lost to Luke Littler on the Littler's inexorable progress to the
No
trophy.
shame there.
No, none at all.
Again, very good on the cover shooting for Hood. Down to 2-1-5. Ryan Meikle on throw, 2-4-4, finds the treble. Should leave a finish. Down to 164. And a great 140 takes him to a very doable 104. Hood 2-1-5.
It's a great first start though. He can't quite follow it in with a second treble 20. He has to do with a ton. 104 Meikle. Hits a single 19.
Treble 15 for tops. Just misses it. Just on the outside wire.
Jordan says, Chris, I've got a question. Do you think Ryan getting the first leg is what he needed?
Well, he needs to win the first set, to be honest, because I think Hood's one of them kind of players that if he gets in front, will lead.
And there's a break back. We've got 2 ton plus finishes in the first 2 legs as Hood takes out 1-1-5. Pinning double top.
Yeah, I think Hood's one of those that if he gets his nose in front, will run away with it. I think Meikle has to make this as uncomfortable as possible, and he's going to have to really scrap and hope that Hood gives him opportunities like he did in leg 1, and he takes them.
So into leg 3, we're back on throw effectively. Hood got a steady ton. And there's a 180.
That's our first, and it goes to Justin Hood.
As I mentioned, he got 11 in beating Noppert in the previous round. His first year with the tour card. His general average for the year, and this goes back to what you were saying at the outset, Mace, 91.
And then you look at his tournament average here as he's into his 3rd match. It's over 101. Make it make sense, Dance.
Well, the crowd are singing to him now. He's getting the Vincent van der Voort chant. Just changing Vincent's name for Justin, and he's loving it, absolutely loving it.
It's great to see a player up there who does enjoy it, playing with a smile on his face. He's not going to take the 140 out. He'd be looking at a ton to leave tops. A bit awkward. Super dart.
Wow.
Super dart, tops after
Squeeze
12.
that in.
Meikle back on 182. 1-1, set 1.
Much more of an aimer.
For sure.
Ryan Meikle. Much more deliberate in the drawback of the dart, and there's a real deliberate pause once the dart's been drawn back before he lets fly. Hood wants tops for 2-1. He's underneath, across the double 10. He's inside 10s. He's doubling not great at the minute. What about 5s? Oh, well inside 5s. 1 for 9 on his doubling so far, Hood.
That's a worry. Is he going to get his pocket picked again? That's a 3. 79 left. Misses the treble 13. So he will be back, but at a tricky 5. And the hard bench here is the single 1. It shrinks.
1 for double 2 is the Hood out shot. Now he's stood back from the oche. He's hit the single 1, no problem. The crowd getting involved. Meikle's just looking at the floor. Inside double 2, so the madhouse for happy feet. He's got it.
Well, that's our first hold of throw. It puts him 2-1 up where he should be. Not the opening 2 legs, of course. With breaks of throw. And Meikle on cover finds a 7. Does get the treble, only 84.
The All Right family's asked me, does the 60 grand for hitting a 9-darter count towards ranking points? The answer is no.
No.
It is a superfluous thing. It's a
bonus.
It's a title sponsor thing. All to do with money for the player, but not ranking points. Money for the charity, the prostate cancer charity, and money for a random punter.
Yep.
Somewhere in the building.
As long as they're sat in their chair as Meikle is battling his first max. 2-1 down in this opening set, but down to 2-3-7 is on throw, so no cause for concern for Hood because he knows he'll have the darts in the decider. Doesn't want to go there, of course, but may have no choice if Meikle continues with finding the treble, which he's not done there. He backs the 180 up with 59.
So 270 Hood plays 178 Meikle in this fourth leg. Meikle favourite to take us to a deciding leg. Good 140 from the diminutive man from Glastonbury.
Yeah, down to a finish that the players enjoy, because they get 2 cracks at the treble 20 and then 1 at the ball.
138.
And he has to go because Meikle has left tops.
So treble 20. Oh, another one would leave bullseye. Oh, is it single 5? Drifted to the left.
50.
Bit of a wild dart that, wasn't it?
So tops for Meikle. Gets that. And he's bang on with his doubling 2 from 2 so far.
Yeah, and that will put Hood under a bit of pressure, because he'll be aware that, right, I can't give this guy a go at a double. He's going to get it.
Deciding leg of the first set in a race to 4 here on
72.
talkSPORT 2 and the YouTube channel and the app. Ryan Meikle of Suffolk trying to break the throw as he did in the opening leg of the match. His tour card is safe for next year. Meikle, getting through the early stages of the tournament, have assured that with his wins against Jesus Salate and Johnny Tata.
137.
So his privileges are intact going into 2026.
He won't be saying Tata to his tour card.
No. And he actually told me in his interview after his win over Tata that knowing that he was effectively safe even before he played Tata just helped him relax a little bit. How is the dartboard attached to the wall, says Be Kind Rewind? Screws? Does the backing change with the new boards?
No, there's basically a special type of screw in the middle of the board, and then there's a bracket on the wall, and it just slides into it. There's packers behind the board that stops it from moving. And every match, well, in these short matches, it's changed after every match anyway, but in the long matches, it is depending who's playing, and if the board's been damaged by aggressive points, they'll change it mid-match in when we have a commercial break. And then these boards then will go on the Pro Tour to be practice boards.
Yeah, they don't get wasted, these boards.
No.
And there are some that are donated to charities and sent to different territories around the world to help encourage the game to grow. If Simon Whitlock's playing, they change it every set.
38. Justin Hugo 118.
Right, into the business end of this first set. Justin Hood wants 118. He's well clear, but he's got to improve his doubling. 100 left. 80 now with a single 20.
54.
And then he went treble 16.
Not sure about that play there. For one, he shouldn't have been going 18s first anyway. But he's left himself 64, where if they'd gone for a 20, it'd have been a single to double combination. Now it's a treble to double. So he may have to burn a dart. And Meikle is hot on his heels. Wants 102, but 64 for the set.
Treble 16, or he might try and balance it with treble 8. Well, he hit single 8. So now he'll hit 16 for tops. He's got 1 dart in hand. He's 2 from 11 on his doubling so far, Justin Hood. What about when it comes to the crunch? He's bang on, that's what he is. He's right in the middle of the bed and rescues the set after some uncertain doubling in the early stages from Justin Hood. He gets the job done, pushed all the way by Ryan Meikle. So the 2 left-handers exit stage left. And we'll be back with the second set very shortly on your home of darts on the radio. It is Justin Hood 1, Ryan Meikle 0 in a race to 4. Well, if you love your darts, whether it's league night, the local, or dreaming of a walk-on anthem, you'll know that the right gear makes all the difference. Target Darts are the brand behind Luke Littler's rise. They've been with him from the start, crafting the innovative, high-quality darts he now uses on the sport's biggest stages. And now, Target have taken the home setup to another level with the Omni Auto Scoring System. Instant, accurate scoring in a slick, modern way to sharpen your game. So, if you want the same equipment trusted by the most electrifying young talent in world darts, visit targetdarts.com and get on target.
It needs to be magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic. Meikle, get on target.
Seen at the Alexandra Palace at the PDC World Darts live on talkSPORT 2 in partnership with Village Hotels. Rooms from £59 in the Big Village sale. Book now at villagehotels.com. Ian Dancer and Chris Mace, the Ace Mason, with you on talkSPORT 2, on the talkSPORT app and on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. Justin Hood leads the battle of the left-handers 1-0 in a race to 4 against Ryan Meikle. The two Englishmen nip and tuck for that first set, and even though Meikle averaged 5 points more than his opponent, Hood's doubling got better at the right time, Mace.
Yeah, well, Meikle was 2 from 2, no wasted darts for him. Justin Hood wasted 9 at a double, just 3 from 12, hence the average, 89.67. Matters not. It's a set in the ledger, and that's all that matters. One set closer to a very, very lucrative win.
Raymond Whale asks on our YouTube page, can you confirm with the crowd are chanting, is it boring, boring singles? No. It's boring, boring tables. This is
and I can't tell you the other one.
No. There's another one that, yeah, not for family listening at this time of the afternoon. Oh, 180 from Hood to get the second set going. No, it's boring, boring tables.
And stand up if you love the darts.
There's the Ya Ya Colo Toure chant, which has been going for a while. Now, could this be a 177 from Meikle in response? It is. Super response from the man from Ipswich. But it's just directed the boring, boring tables at those in the VIP section who, as far as those who've paid a little less for their matchday experience, are thinking, well, they're just not joining in with the fun.
No, they're down there drinking champagne and
not in fancy dress, so therefore, ipso
boring.
facto, boring, boring tables. That's where that comes from. And it's all meant in good nature. And if you're Ray Parlour and you're sat in there, you'll play up to it. You'll get on your feet. Our talkSPORT colleague and absolutely milk it for all it's worth. So 167 for Meikle at the start of this second set. It's been a good leg, this one, and he's got a chance. Treble 9, no, he's just underneath with 2 darts at single 20.
And we will have Darren Bent and Andy Goldstein, won't we, on
semi-finals night.
Semi-finals night, yep, all the build-up.
Treble 19 for Hood to
Double
break
12.
through.
That was for an 11 dart breaker throw. Long way off. Oof, that wasn't. Well, Meikle still with work to do. 108, could be 19s. No, it's treble 20 and he's got it. 48 left. Is he going to pinch another one? Tops.
Just let him down for the first time. He's doubling.
First
Can't
up-
whip him for that. He's 2
First
from
start,
3.
yeah, his first start, he's missed a double, isn't it?
Double 6 for Hood. Got it, and that's a break of throw at the start of set 2 for Justin Hood of Glastonbury, who did play in the BDO World Championships before he transferred to the PDC. He only got through to the first round once and lost to Richard Veenstra.
No shame there.
And Veenstra, of course, another player that moved across. So many do from the either the WDF or the BDO as it once was to the PDC. And Hood has had a year to remember for his first as a tour card holder.
Well, and of course, for those of you that did watch the WDF World Championships, another young man who made a real big name for himself, a player I've been following for a couple of years in Scotland's Mitchell Lawrie. He's only 15. He is a special talent.
And he played in both the youth and the senior tour.
Yeah, well, he won the JDC World Youth here. That was last Saturday, I do believe. And made the final of the WDF, being beat by Jimmy Van Schie in the final.
Remember the name, Mitchell Lawrie.
Yep.
So
log it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we said, and in fairness, Nico and Mace both mentioned Luke Littler to you.
For anybody who knew he was.
Long before he played Christian Kist in that first round at Ali Pali 2 years ago. 180 for Meikle. Trying to break back here in the second set. He's left himself on 82, but back comes Hood.
And he's done all right, that Luke Littler lad, hasn't he?
He's done okay. Bull for double 16 was the outshot.
That's okay. He's a 17, so 15, and Bull gets the treble, double 10 bonus.
62.
Just on the outside.
Was it schoolball pressure from
well,
Hood?
Maybe so. 68 required for Happy Feet. 48 now, so 16 for double 16. Just takes a pause. And he's outside double 16, so still his doubling's not where he would want it to be at all.
No, still at 25%. My Meikle, so far, when he's had a second opportunity, has done that, and that is a very good leg indeed. 14 dart break back, 1-1, set 2. Justin Hood leads by 1 set to 0 in a race to 4.
We did wonder whether this one would be nip and tuck, but it was all about Meikle being able to raise his game, or on the other hand, Hood not being able to match the levels that he posted against the freeze.
And Meikle has found a...
I think there's a little from column A and a little from column B there, isn't there, in this instance so far?
Yeah, but Meikle's certainly picked up his numbers. He's averaging 98 at the moment, rock solid, 50% on his doubles. He's in scoring department. There's nothing in it between them both. Both had 3 180s apiece.
58.
Another precocious young talent on stage next in Charlie Manby. Poster of the highest average on the tour this year, taking on Ricky Evans.
140.
Which admittedly was over short course distance, but nevertheless 130.
Still special over 4 legs.
Everybody going to sit up and take notice. And then Nathan Aspinall against Kevin Dutz will round off your afternoon. Then we're off to the Coventry Building Society Arena for our tea time kickoff in the Championship. Leaders Coventry at home to Ryan Meikle's beloved Ipswich Town.
Yeah, and then we're back with Rock versus Rids.
And that's the last round 3 time before we plunge into round 4, Mace, tonight.
Yeah, Hurrell against Searle. And then the champ is back against the former champ. Littler taking on Cross. Cross actually won their last meeting.
97.
But they did meet back in 2024 in the semi-final with Littler demolishing Cross 6 sets to 2. Fascinating tie.
1-2-8 left for Justin Hood.
Needs a ball.
He does. Having it single 18 and treble 20. There's the bull. Well, the outer ring may not be his mate so far, but the dead centre of the board's a bit of all right for Justin Hood. And yet again, a break of throw.
3 on the spin. Talk about timing. Wow.
Who's the most famous person you've seen at any major PDC event, asks Ninja Squirrel.
Ooh, we've had loads. We've had royalty, haven't we?
We have. Prince Harry has been here at Alexandra Palace, but you know, of course, the Prince at the Palace, of course you get that. We've had Ted Lasso here this year, Jason Sudeikis, the American actor. I'm trying to think who Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran, yeah, he loves it.
He should be here supporting his Ipswich mate, and I'm surprised he's not.
Maybe he's out with Stormzy or something, I don't know.
Well, Kiss are here today.
Kiss are here.
In the front row.
We get loads of it. James Maddison was here yesterday,
He
wasn't
was, and so Brennan Johnson, the Tottenham,
right, okay.
his Tottenham teammate, turned up, having won at Crystal Palace. He nipped from South London to North to join James for the evening session.
91.
So, darts on the radio. It
we had the
works.
2 golfers here yesterday as well.
Oh, Shane Lowry was here yesterday, and Tyrrell Hatton.
Correct. 2 points.
Having a very good night, shall we say.
Well, this would be some way to win the set with another ball finish. 170 for Justin Hood. 1 up in sets, 2 1 up in legs. Ooh, just left of the target in treble 5. Does get the treble 19 to leave 78. And Meikle, as I sort of expected in this match, is that the difference in tournament numbers did suggest that he was going to be a throw behind, and a lot of the times in these legs he's had to rely on
39.
Justin Hood fluffing his lines. Treble 18 for double 12.
There's the treble 18 for the set, and 2-0. Justin Hood wants 24. Oh, he's well inside, across.
72.
Inside double 6 as well. So
doubling is a disaster, isn't it? That's 14 missed starts at a double already. We're not even at the end of set 2.
And they're not narrow misses either, are they?
In and amongst it, he took out 128 on the ball and 115.
No, he's not adjacent to those doubles. He's typically a centimetre or even an
Especially
inch
that
away.
double 12. He's had 2 goes at it and been well inside.
Yeah, could be a bit of nerves being at this stage of the tournament. Double 3 right at the bottom of the board is his next target. He's gone 2 for double 2. He doesn't fancy it, so he's burnt a dart, and now he's inside double 2, so he's back in the madhouse again. Whilst Meikle has got the 3rd biggest finish on the board, 164.
Couple of options here. Is he going old school? Yeah, well, that was the attempt. 60-54 ball. A lot of players now go 57-57 ball. But now this is tricky. 1 up, 1 in, we say in the pub. So you stick 1 over as a bit of a rangefinder and then go for it.
Yeah. Will he attack it from the first dart, though? Perfect marker on the outside. Can he follow it in? Oh, he's close. He bends the wire just slightly. Hood's got 1 dart left in hand. Plenty to aim at. And he's found it just
to Meikle's 14.
And that means he's in control of this 3rd round encounter. Work to do for the Barber. It is Justin Hood 2, Ryan Meikle 0. Back in a moment on your home of darts on the radio. talkSPORT 2.
It needs to be magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic. 180. Meikle, get on target.
Ian Danter and Chris Mace, the Ace Mason, with you in our commentary box right on the side of the stage here at Alexandra Palace with a perfect vista over what's going on in front of us. Day 16 of the PDC World Darts Championship on talkSPORT 2, on the app and on our YouTube page. Justin Hood, conqueror of Danny Noppert in the last round, already finding himself 2-0 up against his fellow left-handed Englishman Ryan Meikle, but that set score only tells part of the story, Mace.
Yeah, sure does. Only 6-3 in legs, but Meikle has been reduced just to 6 opportunities at a double, and he's hit 3 of them. Averaging set 1 for Justin Hood, 89.67, up the ante in set 2 to 96.98, but they're both averaging just shy of 93, and that's because Justin Hood has had 24 darts at a double.
4 times as many as his opponent, and he's half as effective.
437.
So away we go for set 3. Hood has the darts.
Yeah, more bad news for Meikle.
Stephen Creamer's messaged on our YouTube page. Question for you, Dance. Ooh.
439.
What do you find more challenging, commentating on football or darts? They both have their own. They both have their own challenges.
I've seen you do your research for a football match, and when you think it's not just the players on the field, it's the substitutes, it's the refs, it's the history of the managers.
Yeah.
It's really doing football commentary.
What I find with darts is, from my personal experience, a lot of it is about watching the psychology of the game unfolding. That's what I'm trying to describe to you guys listening, or with our watch-alongs, just how a player's demeanour seems to be, just as much as what they're throwing. We've got all the statistical evidence we could lay our hands on here, which you don't always get at a football match, but it's not just about stats. It's about getting a feel for the game and a feel for how the atmosphere is either affecting or not affecting certain
the
players.
players' body language, and you get a good read on what's really going on. Some players are just stoic, so you just can't get any kind of insight or visual insight.
Yeah, and yet some are muttering to themselves all the time. Damon Hetty yesterday was just talking to himself whilst it was all going wrong yesterday.
He's already on a flight to Australia.
96.
Hope he's not hoping to go and watch the cricket, because that's done.
Yeah, it's all done and dusted. So,
good luck from Meikle here against the throw. He's down to 68, where Justin Hood is now down to 48.
We've had breaks of throw at the start of each set. Great chance, double 10 for Meikle to break throw. Just moves along the hockey to the left to make room. And goes further away from the double 10 bed. So doors open for Hood. 16 for double 16 or 8 for tops. Which does he want? 16 for double 16.
Oh, and actually hits one.
Hold the throw.
That's a rarity, as you said, in every set so far. The opening legs have both been breaks of throw in set 1 and set 2, not in set 3.
431.
It's a good start from Meikle. His 6th appearance at these championships, Ryan Meikle. He's only managed 1 quarter-final on the Pro Tour in this past year.
57.
Yeah, that's a worry, considering he played in 34 of them.
Yeah, goes right throughout the year in venues around the UK and in Europe. Wigan and Leicester and Milton Keynes here in this country.
Other glamorous places are available.
Yeah, Hildesheim in Rosmalen in continental Europe. I had my first experience of such a tournament as Hood pops in a 4th 180 at the encounter.
Have you done a European tour yet?
I've not done a European tour event yet, no, but
I
I did go to Wigan for the last Pro Tour event of the year, so I got to witness the 128 dart players all in one room thing.
It's bizarre.
It is utterly bizarre.
In absolute silence as well.
Yeah.
Playing in little booths.
Apart from the clank of the cups and the cutlery in the cafe, where people go and order their
140.
drinks and their food in this venue in Wigan, just next door to the DW Stadium. I think it's changed its name now, hasn't it? The Wigan Athletic Stadium. But
so,
yeah.
1-2-4 Hood. 2 sets up, 1 leg up. And this is on the Meikle throw, who does find a good turn to get himself down to 94.
Oh, shots on for Hood. 64 left, treble 14 would leave double 11. 14 leaves the bull. He's on the bull, and he pins the bull for a second time in this match. He's just keeping Ryan Meikle at arm's length, and his doubling's now getting a little better. Meikle just turns away. For goodness sake, as if he's saying to himself, what am I supposed to do?
Well, he's a leg away from being 3-0 down, and I think that's too much of a mountain to climb, even for him. I know he was 2 sets down against Tata, but Justin Hood is no Tata.
140.
Nearly a 180 from Meikle, but just a slight pull on that last dart, dragging it down into small 20. That's where Hood is with his first dart. Comes down to the 19th, running for cover. Picks off 4 of them.
Yeah, I know everyone should try and go to a European tour. I know tickets are almost impossible now to get to tournaments, whether it be the Premier League, the match play here. Go to a European tour. It's super cheap. The atmosphere, there's twice as many people in some of them than that's here now. The atmosphere is insanely good.
Although Nico was saying to me yesterday, with all the German supporters in to watch the likes of Clemens and Merck, it felt like a European tour event.
Yeah. Yes,
Because of
that's
the
right.
split, it wasn't as partisan towards one country. 171 from Hood. Takes him down to 94 for a chance to win the set. Meikle's just trying to hang on to his coattails as best he can here. 140 scored.
Yeah, takes him down to 1-2-1, but 94 for the set, and the first set we've had that will, well, was not complicated. Yeah, he went for treble 20 for double 8 there. Could have gone double-double, but it's down to Meikle now to find a ton plus out of his own.
This has got to go.
Treble 17 and bull. Shots on.
Bullseye for Ryan Meikle. Hood's hit it twice, just to the right in the 25. A whisker away.
Literally.
So Hood's back in for tops for a 3-0 win in this set and a 3-0 advantage in sets. Just underneath. Double 10 on the outside. 1 dart left, and he's found it. He is 3-0 up and cruising.
Well, in that set, Ryan Meikle had a set average of 104.92, but limited opportunities at doubles.
180.
Well, Meikle starts with a 9, as Jay rightly says on our YouTube chat. Still no 9 darter yet, and we're almost in the quarters.
Gary Anderson missed double 12, didn't he?
Said he bottled it, which I think he's slightly been down on himself there. It was a brilliant attempt. It's as close as we've come.
Yep, it's only one to have a go at a double on the 9. We're not going to have a 9 here because the 180 is backed up with 57.
I think the winner of this plays Rock or Rids, if memory serves. Someone was just asking who the winner faces in the round of 16. And Rock and the Rids will conclude the round 3 action with the first match of tonight's session, which will bring you on the YouTube channel from 7 p.m. whilst the Coventry-Ipswich game plays out the second half on talkSPORT 2.
And Rock and Rids met here in 2022 with Rock winning 3-0.
Hood's in for a max, and his 5th. It's 5-4 to Justin Hood in maximums. I mean, Meikle's averaging far better than he was in his first and second round matches.
But he's been reduced to just 9 darts at a double, 20 less than, so this is very much like a scoring average.
Yeah, because he's just not getting the opportunities to show what he can do at the business end of a leg.
Well, 91 left after a big 5. He's got it. He's got the treble 17. He wants tops to break through in leg 1 of set 4. Ooh, flashed at that one a bit.
68.
So Meikle, advantage him maybe. There's the treble 16 for double 10. That's a good clutch finish. Boy, oh boy, did he need that. Ryan Meikle. His demeanour on stage, his shoulders are slouching just a little bit. There's not that swagger.
45.
But he's got an opportunity now. He's at least held throw at the start of this set now. Can he set about breaking the Hood throw and giving himself a foothold in this match?
That was quite
45.
funny. We had somebody in a full-on Power Rangers type costume, face completely covered,
Yeah.
saw themselves on TV and stuff. No one knows who you are, mate. Can't see your face.
96.
Did you see me on telly? No, mate.
Which one were you? I was the one with the full face covering on. Oh, yeah, yeah. There's only about 50 people.
So,
99.
Ryan would love to get a breaker throw here. Doesn't need a break to win the set. But he'd like to have a bit of a cushion. Hood, 2 single 20s.
59.
Just drying up a bit here in this set at the moment is Justin. Nothing happening at all so far. Averaging mid-90s, same as Meikle.
6.
Another troublous visit for Meikle. That's 19 for him to just 8 for Hood. Although Hood's picked off treble 19 there on his travels down to the south of the board. In fact, he's got 6 19s there.
Well, he'll want to answer ask the question of Meikle, can he handle it? And we're about to find out. Meikle, long way back in this set.
99.
Not on a finish, 198.
167.
Hood, 6 starts at 167.
Oh, there's the first element taken. Treble 19 would have left Bull.
88 remaining as options. That's one of them to leave double 14.
Great dart. Meikle back on 198. What sort of pressure can he apply from here? He could get a ton. Get down to a 2 dart kill.
100.
That's what he's got, down to 98.
28.
But here we go. Double 14 to level things up in this 4th set. There it is.
It's
more like it. That's the sort of doubling that Justin Hood has been looking for since the start. 10 achieved from 31 attempts.
Well, Meikle, he's at the kind of figure the players like to be as a minimum. 40%. But he's only had 10 goes.
Remember, he broke throw at the start with a ton checkout.
Yeah, 20 tops, wasn't it?
57.
And yet here he is staring down the barrel at 3-0 down, Meikle. So uncharted territory for both these players. Whichever one wins
6.
will have never been as far as the round of 16. Remember, it's Hood's first ever dib at it. Hood from 4-4-4. Could be a troublous visit here. And indeed it is.
Yeah, they're starting to rack up. That's 10 now. Two single 20s right on the bottom wire for Meikle. No luck on cover.
Well, that's 21 troublous visits for Meikle, so more than twice as many.
Yeah, and 60 in the tournament. Treble 20, treble 1.
Just have a look at the scoreboard there, Hood, to see what he's got left. Went for treble 17 and hit single. Punters are on their feet again. 3,500 inside the venue. It'll be twice as many this time next year when we move next door at Alexandra Palace to the Great Hall. Imagine the noise of this song alone being sung by twice as many people.
Well, you'll be able to hear it at the bottom of the hill, that's for sure, next year anyway. Treble 20's found, 86 left. Gets the treble 18. Double 16.
Well, he's been waiting for that, Ryan Meikle, and he's delivered a beautiful 146 checkout. So he's 2-1 up in this 4th set with the throw.
95.
And again, he doesn't need to break the Hood throw in this set, but I'm sure he'd like to get some practice in at doing exactly that.
Yeah,
if he is going to take it beyond 4 sets.
You do have that insurance, but you just don't want to go there because it's not just any leg of any set. It's to stay in the tournament. And that comes with its own pressure. Justin Hood, he wants to take him now.
99.
Well, Hood, in his interviews with us backstage after his first and second round wins, you would have no idea that he'd never played on this stage before,
100.
that he'd never been in front of this many people before to play darts. Just seems to have come so naturally to him, this sudden rise to fame.
58.
Well, there's no pressure apart from your own personal expectations, but
And we all know about his expectations for wanting to,
he wants a Chinese chip shop.
yeah, wants to own and run a Chinese restaurant.
I wonder if he can cook.
57.
That's a good question. Another guy with a full face covering leaps up because he sees the camera on him. Show us your face, mate.
457.
Maybe he's taking a sickie. Good move.
Maybe. 112 left for Hood to level things up in this fourth set of 2 legs apiece. Meikle coming down from 247, should be on a finish and is.
Just require 112.
He's already had 3 ton plus out, so 115, 124 and a 128. Can he add this to the list? Treble 20 and double. Ooh, just misses the treble 20. Yeah, it goes
56.
48, but
Right,
misses
require
that as well. Down to
147.
56.
Well, we've just seen a 146 from Meikle.
Oh, it's all the
How about 147, treble 17,
yes, it's on.
double 18. Brilliant stuff, Ryan Meikle. That's how you win a set.
The averages, they're very, very even.
95 apiece. So, not done yet in this opening match of the afternoon session on day 16. It is Justin Hood 3, Ryan Meikle 1 in a race to 4 to get through to the last 16. We'll play to a conclusion next on your home of darts on the radio, talkSPORT 2.
It needs to be magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic.
180.
Luke Linkler gets on target.
While listening to the World Darts Championship live on talkSPORT 2 in partnership with Village Hotels, with 34 locations across the UK. Visit villagehotels.com. How you doing? Ian Danter with you. So too, Chris Mace, the Ace Mason here, side stage at the Alexandra Palace. Justin Hood of Glastonbury, 3-1 up against his fellow left-handed player Ryan Meikle of Ipswich. So Hood, who has the darts in this fifth set, only needs to hold throw 3 times and he will be through to the round of 16 on his first appearance at these championships. Meikle, though, if you're just tuning into our coverage, pinned 2 140-plus checkouts at the end of the last set to get his name on the board.
Yeah, great set from Ryan Meikle. Averaged nearly 97 in the set, so we've had a 147, but no 9-darter. What's going on?
And a CPR 1, 2, 3, 4 put on our YouTube page, and that's why I prefer darts and not snooker at a 147 in 5 seconds rather than 6 minutes.
6 minutes is going well.
That's Ronnie's.
5 minutes.
I guess that's
20,
Ronnie's average time. Yeah.
5 minutes 20. I think he'd done the 147.
Hood's already down to a finish of 170 after 9 darts. Meikle 307 less this visit.
Could come for 19s here and gets them to leave 170 himself. Oh, they're both on it.
So we've had 10 big fish finishes. Not here though from Hood. 100 scored.
107.
Can Ryan do it? He is the finisher after all. That would be remarkable. 146 followed by 147 followed by a 170.
You really would think your luck was in.
90. Justin, you require 7.
He also finds a treble at the end of the visit, but Hood now wants 70 points to take the opening leg of what could be a decisive fifth set. Treble 18 for double 8. He's hit the treble 18 very neatly indeed. On the outside of double 8. Steps across the oche to the right, trying to make room. He's gone slightly beyond the end of the oche to make that room that he thinks he needs, and it's worked for him.
Fantastic dart now. It just looks like another double, but when you move that far right, of course you're farther away from the board and you're creating an angle which you're not used to.
So you're potentially adding half a foot.
Well, the dartboard should be, the oche should be crescent shaped, of course. So you measure a dartboard from the ball to the floor, 2,930 mil, and then if you put a
like the D in a penalty area.
Yeah, it should be that shape, because the further you move right or left, the farther you're away from the board.
Meikle under pressure then in this fifth set, but a good 140 takes him down to 264. Hood from 444 could be popping in a max here. Not quite, but he's slightly ahead on the 180s, 5-4 in Hood's favour. Still got.
That was my pick for this game, of course.
It was, wasn't it?
Hood to win and most 180s. I'm not convinced.
He had Charlie Manby at evens to win.
Yep.
Did Mace. That's next up against Ricky Evans on this stage, and then Aspinall Doots will round off the afternoon session.
59.
Yeah, I got Aspinall most 180s and win at evens.
And that's with our friends at William Hill 18+, gambleaware.org.
Treble 20s found. He's gone 205 prior to this.
130.
Picks the ball off casually to leave 75. Hood outscored in this particular leg.
He's coming downstairs to the 19s, and then at a 57 visit, that classic case of chasing trebles around the board and getting nothing. 75 Meikle. Went 17. For treble 17.
Yeah, 18 tops. Gets the 18, wants tops, level things up, in it goes. 15 dart hold of his own. Now, Hood will be quite happy if that trend continues here, and he's done and dusted. But as we know, darts is different.
90.
Big last start there, because he'd hit 2 treble 5s. Hood needed the adjustment just to the right and found it.
Yeah, had the weight of throw, didn't he? Just slightly lost the line. No trebles so far. 20 and 19.
60.
Well, there is a treble. It's a treble 7. So hard way to hit 60.
So this is a leg that Meikle will surely be targeting. He's running out of options and running out of time to get back within range of his compatriot and opponent here. But he's got to get a ton plus score, I would suggest. At least a ton. He's got 2 singles. And under pitches the last start.
Well, he's feeling the heat from Hood here in this 5th set. Hood leads 3 sets to 1. It's 1-1. But he's gone missing all of a sudden. But he finds treble 17 to rescue the situation. 2-3-6 Hood, 3-8-1 Meikle. Single 20 low again. That's an indication he's definitely feeling it.
96.
Well, the treble 19 rescued that visit. It's all a bit scrappy here. Neither player's broken 200 after 9 darts. And again, single 5 Hood, but a treble 19 gives him options. He's looking at the scoreboard.
Yeah, he's on 175.
116.
Well, that's dead handy. It takes him down to 120.
Much better first dart from Meikle this time. Chance for a 140 maybe.
140.
Exactly what he gets.
120.
So Hood on Shanghai on the 20s, a treble single and a double for each.
Yeah, 3 apiece in the ton plus outs. Oh, he's hit tops going for a single. That was safe. Double 10 needed. So it couldn't hit a double. Might go double.
No, not this time.
Well, can he add the 145 to the 146 and the 147? What a hat trick of shots that will be. No.
Went from 25 to leave a ton, Meikle. It's single 2.
79.
That's a good treble 19.
Justin, you require 20.
But double 10. Hood's back in to go 1 leg away from victory. Settles on the hockey, just something in his pockets. Centimetre outside double 10. Centimetre inside double 10. Squints his eyes and looks at double 5 and wires it on the outside, Mace.
Yeah, it's just not. He's looked great in the combination shots, but when he's had 3 a double, he's really struggled in this match. That's the only reason for me why Meikle is still in it. He wants tops. 1 dart left. Wow,
26.
buckles the top wire. A reprieve for Justin Hood, but double 5 is not a nice double. They've either got to attack it or split it. He ain't splitting it.
Doesn't look it. Oh, he doesn't need to. He's got it right in the middle.
Well, there was a chance for the breaker throw for Meikle. Is his time over here at this year's World Championships?
Has to hold throw or it's all over, and Hood will be through to face the winner of Callan Ridds and Josh Rock, who play the first match in tonight's session live on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel.
Well, he's not replicated the
59.
round 1 and round 2 performance here, Justin Hood, but there's a case to say he's not really up to.
Although Meikle has definitely raised his game from his first 2 rounds.
For sure.
6.
Oh, Meikle just 16. He trudges towards the board to get the darts out.
He's offering up a breaker throw, isn't he? He's on 384. Hood on 442. Finds a 140 or a max. That could be all she wrote.
140.
Well, there's the 140 Mace talked about, so he's got an 80-odd point advantage after 6.
Back comes Meikle. Oh, he's on the max.
Oh, the most 180s thing might be going for a Burton 5 apiece. All of a sudden. Sorry, Mace.
I'd love to be a bookie. No wonder they're minted.
96.
I know, they got away with that. 206 Hood, 204 Meikle. Single 20, low. Single 19, a little high. And another one right next door. So he's down to 146. Come on then, Happy Feet. Knocking a max for the punters, no.
It's not happening. But he will get down to a slightly better finish than his opponent. He's got 106 if he comes back. We've already seen a 146 from Meikle in this match in the last set, but it won't go this time.
So can Justin Hood win it with his 4th ton plus out of the match? He wants 106. Only needs 1 trouble in either of the opening 2 darts.
Looking at 20s. Yeah, he's got it. 46 left. 6 for tops. Stands back. Oh, he's hit 10 rather than 6. So double 18 for the match for Justin Hood.
So is it going to be a happy accident for happy feet?
86.
Meikle back in. It's got to go, 86. Treble 18 hit, double 16.
We know he's gutsy. Double 8 next door.
Well played, Ryan Meikle. Considering he's mournful countenance up there, he does not look happy up there whatsoever. But he's scrapping and fighting and snarling to stay in this. But he's now going to break the throw.
Well, he's got history of it, hasn't he? We know he's gutsy, and that was evidence of that there. Ooh, that's a wild dart. Man, in the middle of the 5.
84.
Again, a treble 20 in the nick of time for Justin Hood. But only 417, so even a ton would give Meikle a bit of
97.
jip. Well, he's got 97, so slightly ahead.
It just keeps him in touch, keeps the pressure on Hood. He finds a 60. It's not in a great position. It's low and a bit of a blocker in the 60 bed. 99 in the end. He'll be happy trying to just pick off one treble a turn.
It's a great first dart from Meikle at the start of this visit. Can't quite follow it in the treble 20.
100.
Only 100, and he can sense his frustration that that's all it is. So 318 plays 304 in Meikle's favour.
And another low dart. He's showing he's feeling this here. Gets the treble 19 on cover. Can he get another? Slides it.
134.
He's done that a few times this afternoon, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's left 184. Meikle 304. It's 3-1 in sets to Hood. 2-2 in set 5.
140.
Great darts and a snarl from Meikle, taking him down to 164.
So a finish for the barber. The man with the shaven head wants 184.
Is he going to fill it and leave double 2? No. Leaves tops though.
144.
Could have done it for our punters, couldn't he?
64.
Sorry, mate. Oh, 164 is on for Meikle. Treble 18 would leave the bull. Oh, he hits
That would have been
single 18.
remarkable, wouldn't it?
He hits treble 18 in the end.
132.
So he wants double 16. But Hood now has 3 darts in hand for the match, Mace.
Yeah, and 3 darts at his favourite double. Meikle with a bit of a wry smile on his face. He's already missed 1 match start, of course, Justin. He gets 3 though now. How many does he need? Just the 1. And Justin Hood with another great win, this time over Ryan Meikle. 4 sets to 1. Average just shy of 95. Very tidy indeed. But had 40 darts at a double. Hit 13. If we were playing over a match play, it was comfortable as the set scoreline suggests, Stance.
One of the stories of these championships, without question. Justin Hood on debut has made it all the way to the last 16, where he will play either Callan Ritz or Josh Rock after a 4 sets to 1 victory here over Ryan Meikle, the man from Glastonbury, looking completely at home on the very biggest of darting stages. Congratulations to him. Commiserations to Ryan Meikle. He's never made it this far before. Let's see how he gets on now that he's retained his tour card going into 2026. Final thoughts from you, Mace?
Yeah, listen, great tournament for him, a great comeback win against Tata, so this was a bit of a bonus, and he showed up. I'll give him credit for that. Averaged 95.4, actually averaged better than his opponent, although reduced to just 16 darts at a double, which he took 8 of. Highlights, the 1 full 6, and then in the very next leg to win the set that he did win, took out a 1 full 7. So it is Justin Hood who moves on, and well, he can put his feet up and watch everybody else go through it now.
He can. He's through to the last 16. Who will join him? Charlie Manby or Ricky Evans are up next to duke it out on the stage here at Alexandra Palace. And Mark Wilson and Paul Nicholson will guide you through the action between the 2 Englishmen next on day 16 at the Alexandra Palace in the PDC World Darts Championship.